Hi, I'm Montserrat. I'm 17. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a Mexican American. I want to study environmental science and I am very athletic. I've actually ran the LA Marathon.
My name is Gladys. I'm 17 years old. My pronouns are she, her, and my ethnicity is Mexican American. And something I really enjoy doing is just binge watching TV shows and scrolling through social media.
So the strongest emotion I feel when thinking about social media is connection.
The strongest emotion I feel about social media is, well, it's a word, interesting. Very, very interesting.
So when I think of social media, I think of connection because it really connects me to my friends, to family, especially like friends that I have that are long distance or that have gone out to college. It really connects me to them and like I get to know when they're back home and I can hang out with them again.
I describe social media as very interesting because lots of people on there like to make memes out of thin air. Like they make one little thing into this whole thing and it blows up, and I find that super interesting how people like also connect, how they could connect and like find something super funny and make it this whole thing worldwide.
So me and Gladys became friends. We were in our sophomore year, so just out of COVID. It was actually the first or second day of class. So I had walked into our pre-P English class and somebody had sat on my seat from day one. So I decided to sit next to Gladys because she had a t-shirt on of an anime that I was watching at the time. And so from there, we just started talking.
I'd also add like when it was like the first time we met, we like really clicked instantly. We were just like nonstop talking the whole time. I'm pretty sure the teacher was like done with us. She's like, why are you guys talking a lot? It was really fun. And then I remember like, cause we had it for like second period, we're like, oh, let's hang out during lunch. Cause like we really got like, we had that spark and we're like, let's just talk more during lunch and not bother the teacher. That was really fun. Yeah.
So today, our friendship, we spend a lot of time during lunch and we go to little outings here and there. Like one time we went bowling, another time we just hang out at the boba place outside of school before a football game. So.
Oh yeah. I was so glad she wanted me to go get boba because it was my first football game I was gonna go to because I'm in my school's band, like drumline, and I was super scared. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. But then when we went to go get boba, I was like, I felt like way more relaxed because she was there and we were drinking boba, talking. I don't even know what we were talking about. I don't even remember. I was so scared. But yeah, it was really nice. In band, I play the cymbals. I'm a cymbalist, and usually I hold the cymbals for the snare players, and sometimes I play it. And we're currently like practicing for a parade that we're gonna do in October. So it's like really exciting.
The social media platforms we use are mainly Instagram and TikTok. We don't actually direct message each other on TikTok, which is funny because we both have accounts and we're both on TikTok, but we usually like send the link out to Instagram.
I know, that's so weird. Huh?
Yeah, and we use Instagram a lot. We DM, we call each other right before lunchtime so that we can find like a spot to meet up because the tables, they always get taken super quickly. So one of us goes to search for one.
That's always me. I'm like scavenging for a table. I'm like, oh, there's one right there. I'm gonna run to it.
Yeah. And then she'll call me.
Mm-hmm. A typical online interaction I have with Montse is usually like I send her like a really weird video. Like something I found really funny. I'm like, oh, I want to show you this really funny video too. I want to see your reaction. Recently I sent her this picture of this like poodle getting like a bath, and it had like a really weird smile, and everyone was like really mean to it for some reason. They're like, ew, that dog looks weird.
Yeah, the dog looked possessed.
And then I think I responded to it like, oh, me during class, I'm just like that, like the dog. I don't know. I thought it was really funny to me.
Yeah, in a typical 24-hour day, I wake up. I think if I'm feeling nice, I'll say good morning. I'm just kidding. But I mean, like once we get to school, we usually start texting. And so on Instagram, DMing on Instagram. And so we never use text for some reason. We always DM on Instagram. So right before lunch is mainly when we'll like call each other and be all like, where are you at or whatever, right? And then after that, she usually tells me how she's gonna skip band practice or if she's gonna go to band practice. And then if I end up going to tennis practice, and then we'll meet up either like before or after. And then if there's a football game, we'll occasionally like go out after school and then come back for the football game.
Yeah, I always like, I don't like rant to her, but I'm just like, I just unload. I'm like, I don't want to go to practice today. I don't want to. That's how it pretty much goes. Or I just send her like a really weird like Instagram reel. I don't know. It's really funny to me.
Gladys is like, she'll go to practice when she wants to. So even if I say yes, she'll probably not stop. But she's also a cymbals player. So I think it's a lot easier for her to play.
Oh yeah, it's really easy.
It's just like the tempo.
I know. I'm just like, why am I going to be there? It's like for an hour after school. I'm tired. I have like 10 headaches. I just want to go home, lie down. And a typical 24-hour day for me, like how I use like social media is usually, if a class is super boring, I'll just go on TikTok. My TikTok screen time is so bad, but it's because I really like it. It's like really addicting. Yeah, I usually just go on TikTok on school, check my Instagram messages and see what Montserrat sent me. Maybe like the text like, oh, good morning. And then I just go home and watch TikTok again. Or YouTube. I like YouTube a lot too. I'd say on my phone, it's mostly TikTok and YouTube, but when like I sit down on the couch, I just want to watch like Netflix, Hulu, anything. My side of TikTok is very odd, like that weird poodle video. I can't really think of any other TikToks. Oh, I get lots of edits of actors for some reason, or like really funny clips of like shows I watch, like little compilations. I find that really funny too.
I try to kind of limit myself to a couple TikToks and then like doing work and then a couple other TikToks. When I'm done with all my work, I'll go onto TikTok.
A lot of kids, teachers get mad at them. They're like, oh, can you please put your phone away? And they're like, no, I'm on TikTok. But I think some classes implemented the, what's it called? The
no phone.
Oh yeah, no phone policy. And also it's like where you put your phone up.
Oh, like phone pockets.
Oh yeah, the phone pocket. I don't have any classes with the phone pocket, but if I did have one, I'd be like so bored in that class. This is my phone. I pulled up my Instagram profile page.
And I'm going to describe what I see on her Instagram profile.
Oh yeah.
So this is Gladys's profile page, and she has her pronouns on there. There are no posts. There are different story highlights. So there's a total of 4. There's one about her, one about the cool places she's been to, one about her friends, and one about No Face. Yeah, No Face is a character from a Studio Ghibli movie, and she made a little clay character of it, or clay replica, and so I think the vibe of Gladys's page is very chill. And I don't think a lot of people would mind that there's no posts. I feel like when I open or go to see somebody new who I just followed and like look at their profile, I would like to see their face. And so Gladys has that covered. She has a highlight of herself. So
I'm gonna use my page as normal and I'm gonna show it to Montserrat now.
And I will be narrating it.
Yeah.
Okay. You scroll.
Oh, I scroll? Look at the first thing that popped up.
There's a dog with the white eyes.
It's a scary poodle. And that's from the new show I'm watching. Oh yeah, I just get like really weird random videos.
There's a croissant. Oh my god, I eat those croissants from Starbucks. It's the chocolate croissant. Babe, it's 11 a.m. time for your pain au de croissant.
So there's like this actor from this new show that I'm watching called Hannibal, and he's just posing with this stuffed animal of him, which is really funny.
I did not know that. There's Converse. There's a lot of Converse. There's a cat that just had a shower.
Yeah,
there's some Minecraft. There's a video of somebody playing dodgeball. Michael Jackson.
Wait, that's Michael Jackson? Oh my god. What else is there? I just have lots of cat videos.
There's a lot of actors on here
Oh yeah, I don't know.
that I don't know them.
Oh my god.
So Gladys's feed has a lot of memes, a lot of funny videos, also a lot of cats, and a lot of actors. It's a lot different from my feed. My feed is a lot of like fashion, a lot of pop culture stuff. So like music artists I really listen to. I have my Instagram profile on my phone.
And I am now gonna proceed to explain it. She has a lot to explain. She posts a lot about going out. And recently she went to Africa, which is super cool. I was like, oh my god. She actually posted with these elephants. I was like, oh my god. Oh, you went to Kenya. I mean, yeah, you went to Kenya specifically. Oh, and then when it was your birthday, that was really cool. I went there to the beach. Oh my god, I look really bad in that photo. Oh, and she also posted that when she went to the Eras tour in the SoFi Stadium, she's in front of this like Taylor Swift iHeartRadio like thingy that looks super cool. Oh yeah, Montserrat posts a lot about going out, like being out in the world. I'm like, oh, that's super cool. And the vibe I get from Montserrat just from like looking at her page is very adventurous. Cause you go to a lot of places. I'm just like, wow.
I'm gonna scroll through my Instagram like I normally do. So I'm on my explore page. And Gladys.
And I will narrate what I see on her explore page. So right off the bat, I see that there's lots of Sanrio like Hello Kitty, which is to be expected. Oh, Olivia Rodrigo too. Oh, Taylor Swift.
Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Jenny Han.
Who is that?
That's she's the author of The Summer I Turned Pretty.
I also see some UGG boots. Those are really popular. I don't think that they're nice. I'm just kidding.
I wanted to get some.
I know, my sister was saying too. She's like, I want the short Uggs.
It's fall.
I feel like I would really sweat in those. That's why. But they're really cute though.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of Hello Kitty. So recently, what did happen there? Oh gosh. It's a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup that says that has a Nickelback concert in it. Yeah, what I saw on Montserrat's feed was like really cool looking items, lots of like singers. And it's very different from mine because mine is just pure memes and actors and just like weird stuff. Very vastly different from hers. Something that gives me joy online is how somebody could find like a dog on the street and just like nurture them back to health. I find that like super like really nice to me. I'm like, oh, that's super sweet of them.
Something that brings me joy when it comes to social media is like finding other people with the same enjoyment that I find. So that could be like the same music artist that they love or the same books that I've read and they really enjoy. That's what brings me joy.
Something I find like really frustrating, like if I come across it on social media, is I'd say when for some reason TikTok puts me on like the Republican side or something, and I'm just like, oh no, I don't want that. And I really I'm just like, that really frustrates me.
Yeah, something that I find frustrating on social media would be when there's a lot of negatives about the world. Like my parents, my family, we used to watch the news a lot, and then like COVID happened and there was like a bunch of negatives on the news. So like we stopped watching the news just because it would bring a lot of anxiety. So when I see like a lot of negatives about the world, which obviously is like the truth and it's real and it's happening, but it's not something that I want to intake daily.
Oh yeah, something that gives me excitement online is when I see like a funny post about a show that I'm currently watching and I'm just like, oh my god, that's so funny to me. I find it super exciting how people that have the same interests as me are like putting out funny parts of the show and I'm just like, oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, and then Gladys gets spoiled.
I get spoiled for so many shows, so like whenever I come across something that I'm currently watching, I'm just like, oh, not interested, but I am interested, but I just don't want to get spoiled on TikTok, which always happens to me.
Yeah. Something that brings me excitement is when I find out that an artist is having like a world tour or something. Lately it's been Taylor Swift and now it's Olivia Rodrigo. So sadly I didn't get a Ticketmaster code, but hopefully I get off that wait list. Something that gives me a feeling of connection online would be when I get to see my mom's posts. So I follow her on Instagram, she follows me back. But it's just kind of funny because I see her on the daily but like I get to see her life, like what I see in a second perspective kind of, and I think that's just really funny and cool.
Something that gives me a feeling of connection is whenever, I don't know, sometimes I'm just on my mom's phone and I go through her Facebook and it's just all her family members, or my family members too. And I'm just looking through, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Like all my family back in Mexico. I'm just like, oh, they're doing that and we're like where they live. That's really nice. Something that gives me like a feeling of isolation on social media is when I see somebody that I know, like they go out with their family and I'm just like, oh, I'm just at home lying on my bed. Like I kind of feel like, oh, I wish I could do that too.
Something that gives me a feeling of isolation on social media would be when I'm like scrolling on TikTok and I see videos of like concerts I want to go to, or like materialistic things that I don't have and I like want to get, which is like a bad thing, but yeah.
That's a really good one. I feel the same. I knew somebody that went to a Metallica concert. I was like, oh, I want to do that too.
The term FOMO means fear of missing out. Kind of when Gladys was saying how when you're like scrolling through Instagram and you see your friends going to a party or like your family members doing something and you're all like, oh, I should have been there. A disagreement, and it's kind of not so much of a disagreement that me and Gladys have had, is I am like a super big Harry Potter nerd. I run the Harry Potter club at my school, and Gladys has not watched the Harry Potter movies yet. And she joins my club too. She's there every Tuesday, but she hasn't watched them yet.
I have some major FOMO about Harry Potter. Fear of missing out.
One of the topics that I think is a lot easier for especially teens to discuss online is mental health. There's a lot of resources online, and there's a lot of people who it's a lot easier for them to vent out without having like a person in front of them and someone just like staring at you thinking that they're judging you or something. So that's definitely one of them.
Something easier to discuss online is, I'd say, how people could be really like interested in something, and they don't want to like talk about it to a family member or like anyone that they know, because it's like, oh, I find it really cringy, or I'm talking about it too much. But like online, you could find that community of people that like the same things you like, and you could just blurt it all out like, oh, I love this show so much. Yeah.
I think the role of followers on different social media platforms don't really mean a lot. Like when you first meet someone in person, you're not all like, oh, what's your follower list? Like how many followers do you have? I guess once you meet the person and you see how many, it's kind of like a curiosity thing. Like, oh, I wonder why they have so many, or like, why don't I have that many, right? So.
I'd also agree. I think in high school, it's like follower like amount is really obsolete. No one is really like caring about it that much. But when I do see someone with like a big following, I'm just like, how did they get so many followers? Like, did they buy them or something? Or yeah, they probably bribed people or something. Once we made a TikTok. It was also in 10th grade when we had that same English class together, pre-AP. Well, we did this. What was the audio? I remember I was like smacking the table.
Yeah, there's this audio going around where you like smack the table to the beat of the song. And so we did that one during our English class. And actually most of the TikToks, if not all of the TikToks we made, are when we're at school. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so we've made a total of a whopping 3 TikToks. Our first one was in our English class, and I'm not sure if that was when the lockdown happened.
Oh.
There was a lockdown in our school. I think it was it that time?
I feel like it wasn't, but I think it was like kind of close to that time.
Okay. Well, we were definitely done with our work, and we both decided, I was just scrolling on TikTok, and I was like, oh, we should do this. And then Gladys was all like, yeah, sure.
We're like, yeah.
So we did it while everyone was still in the class and everything. And I think like I even had to put the volume up a little.
I know, we're probably disrupting the whole class. They're like, why are they banging on the table?
Yeah. So, and then the second time we made a TikTok, it was during lunch. And it was a TikTok about like a Taylor Swift lyric challenge. And I'm a Swiftie. She's not a Swiftie.
No.
So, and then the last one was we came back from a field trip to the aquarium, and we just had a little bit of time in the classroom. So we just filmed
I
TikTok.
remember that. With my weird little turtle plushie I bought.
Yeah.
I still have it. It's super scary looking. That's why I bought it. I like really weird things. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I want to buy it.
Oh, the reason we make TikToks is because it's a great way to capture the moment. And it's also just funny and a good way to bond.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny. And everyone could see it too. So I'm like, oh, look at us bond. Something that brings fear into me when I'm on social media is when I'm seeing like in other parts of the country, like how bad it is, or like lots of violence. I'm just like, whoa, like that like really scares me. Or also like recently about aliens, I'm like, what is that?
I do not feel like I see myself portrayed in film and TV, especially as a Mexican American female. There's not a lot of roles filled by Mexican Americans, and when they are, it's never like the main character. It's always a side character, and it's always stereotypes about Mexican Americans, which is really saddening to me.
I could relate to lots of characters that I see on television or like movies, but not ethnically, because yeah, as you were saying, it's like a lot of stereotypes. But I could relate to characters like personality-wise. I'm like, oh, I felt like that before. Yeah, and a good example would be in this movie called Dead Poets Society. And I really relate to this one character named Todd Anderson, where he's just like on the sidelines, like, oh, I'm like nervous, scared. I just really related to him like throughout the whole movie. I was like, oh, that's just so me.
I think one of the main stereotypes about teens and social media would be the constant use of bullying. Whenever social media comes up in a film or TV show with teens, it always has to be something negative, and it always has to be something that's like harming somebody else. And it's never really about somebody like advocating for something or somebody helping someone out. It's just always a negative.
I'd also agree. In like media, television, and all that, they always portray social media as like a platform for bullying, which I find that like so interesting because I've never like seen any like bullying like on my Instagram. Maybe I'm not on the correct site. I'm just kidding. I'm not on the bullying side of Instagram.
You're not on Reddit.
Oh my god.
I think there's also a lot of advocacy on social media platforms, especially on TikTok and on Instagram. And another thing that I see a lot with movies and TV shows is the use of like people who are mean or like who usually have a high following, using the environment as like some way to make people follow them. And I think that's extremely not the case for teens in our age.
Yes.
An accurate portrayal of teens in social media would be them posting about places they've been to, like traveling. I do that a lot. I know my friends do that a lot. And then things to also like get connected with other people, especially for our school and like my friends in general. We post a lot about like club meetings and like different events that you can go to.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just me and the people I surround myself with, but that's definitely how we use our social media platforms.
Yeah, I would also like to add on like, yeah, mostly like the people that I know, they just post like on their social media like, oh, I'm at this place, or just pictures of themselves like with music. I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
They should just put that on like television. It'd be really boring though. Yeah.
One thing I would like writers to know about social media and teens is that although we may be on our phone and on social media a lot, it's definitely not something that defines us. We definitely have life outside of it, and we don't overshare. There's a lot of people who have social media that don't post at all and are just there to consume the content and not post anything. But there's also some that do like to share and are more open about their life.
One thing I'd like writers to know about teenagers is that, yeah, I would also have to agree that I'm like one of those people that never post. Like I'm just like there, but I'm like just watching other people's like whatever they're posting.
Something that makes me cringe when I see social media and teens on TV is when they constantly say that they're gonna get canceled. One recent movie that came out, it's called You're So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah. This girl is like this teen is coming down the stairs and her mom says something and she was all like, "You can't say that, Mom. You're gonna get canceled." Like, I would never say that to my mother. That's kind of just something you say like online or to your friends, but never in person. So the trends that are supposed to be online or the trends that are currently online, bringing them into like family life, which is completely not what happens.
Like, yeah, it's really false. Something that really makes me cringe, like when I see it, how like media portrays teenagers is how they'll use internet lingo. Like they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's so LOL," and they don't even use it correctly. And I'm just like, they did not research. They don't understand. So it's like really like, oh, that's so bad.